Okay.
Yes.
All right. So do we think we're ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Can't get any more ready.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Alan from Grace Memorial, and we are about to do a Sunday school lesson. Thank you so much for being here with us. We have our friends watching on the other side. And one of the great things that we have discovered is even when we can't be in the same room, we can still be together. And so this lesson today, even though we're talking about parents and children at home, this is also if you are disconnected from somebody and maybe a grandparent and a grandchild is using Zoom to connect. This is the way that you can walk through some of the lectionary scriptures together. So, all right.
All right. Hi, everybody. All right. So you're going to start?
Okay. He sent forth his word and healed them and saved them from the grave. Let them give thanks to the Lord for his mercy and the wonders he does for his children.
All right. So what we're going to do for our activity today is we're going to do something that's focused on touch because we've been doing the senses, and this week it is touch. We're going to be doing things for our hands. And you may have already done this before. The first thing that we're going to do is make a squishy bag. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is make our touchy-feely bags. And you'll need a bag that has a zip top on it, some sort of zip top, because that helps prevent accidents from having the stuff inside the bag come out on a surface that you don't want it to. All right, so you might decide you want to use a sandwich bag or a quart bag or a big gallon bag. If I were doing it with a young child, or children maybe under 6, I would use a big gallon bag because they don't have the same control over their hands, and that way they can use it just as efficiently as anybody else can. So, since we have somebody here who is old enough to know how to use the bags, we're going to start with a quart bag. Now, just open it up. And then you will need your either clear shampoo or clear dish soap to put in here. And if you only have the kind that has a color to it, do not panic. That is just great. That means you don't have to add any food coloring. All right, so hold the bag open. You only need about 1 inch of liquid in here. So you don't need to fill up the whole bag. You can just put about 1 inch in. Okay. So yeah, it's about 1 inch. I probably need just a little bit more, but that's okay. We'll see how it goes. Okay. All right. So you can see I have 1 inch of liquid in my bag. And so now I'm going to add yellow. And when you add your food coloring, you just need 1 drop. That's all. It goes a long way. So you can just turn it over and pop it in there. If you don't have food coloring, you could use, another alternative would be to use watercolor paint. If you have watercolors, you could just get it on your brush and dip it down in there. Or you could put a colored piece of paper on the table and just go with it like it is. All right, I want to make sure that I get the air out, so you can start doing that. Or I just thought it'd be fun to add another texture inside of the bag. So I have some coarse kosher salt, and I'm just going to pour some in there. You do not need a lot. There you go. Or maybe you do want a lot. I don't know. You can do it any way you want. It's your bag. All right. So I've got the salt down there and the food coloring, and I've got my dish soap. So I'm going to start mixing those together. What I'm going to do is go ahead and make sure I can get all of the air out of my bag so that it doesn't seem like it's raised up and going to pop. And you'll understand that when we put it down. So I'm just going to try to get all of the air that I can out of there. And I'm going to close the bag so that now I know that I have just all the air that I need. I'm going to just squish it all up. Squishy, squishy. This is sort of fun. You can put any kind of thing in there you would like to. So if you decide to do this in the future, or if you decide to do it this time, you could add things like glitter. You could add any sort of little beads that you have. Anything that, would move around would be a fun thing to have in here. All right. Now, so to make sure that it does not come out of the bag, if I have a small child that I'm doing it with, again, children may be under, they're not small, but under 7, I want to make sure that this stays closed. And I also want to make sure this stays in place, because moving their hands around on it, they could accidentally tear the bag. So I want to make sure that it is stuck to the table so that it doesn't move, and so that nothing comes out of this. If you have for somebody like our friend today, who's old enough to handle that, you can just put the tape around the bag. I'm going to use packing tape because that's what I have. If you had duct tape, you could use that as well. You could use any kind of tape that you feel comfortable with putting it on the surface that you have and getting it back off. It's my helper. Okay. All right. So I've got it so that it's longer than the bag. And I'm just going to tape it down onto the table. So it's covering up the zipper and the opening of the bag. All right. And then you can tape this side down if you want to, or else if you're okay with it flopping around like that, that is cool too. So once you have this and you can feel it, and how yummy it is to do that, then you can start drawing in it. Maybe you want to draw pictures of things. Maybe you want to write the names of people that you are grateful for in your life. Maybe you want to write your own name. It just gives you a chance to feel how what this feels all goopy like, and I can feel the salt in there. So maybe we should have added a little bit more. All right. So, did y'all tape your bag to the table? You did. Okay. So,
Table.
Awesome.
yeah. Oh, look at that. Wow. And so, does it feel kind of gooey, or does it feel smooth?
It feels like very squishy.
Squishy. Yes. I put some salt in mine, and it feels.
We're writing letters in it. Like,
Oh, cool. Great. All right. So if you decided that you wanted to do that again, now that you know how to do it, you could do it anytime you want to and put all kinds of cool things in the water. I mean, this shampoo or the dish soap.
And if you're one of our families with small children and you're using this part of the activity, you can just go to town with make drawing shapes and designs and squiggles in that while we talk about gratitude and thankfulness.
Right. And if I were doing it with a younger child, I would use a bigger bag too, since they don't have quite as much control over their fingers as our lovely assistant does. So now we want to show you the other thing that you can do for touch, and I think this would be great for older children, is you're going to find, whoever's doing the hiding, which I believe was Mom at this point, right? You did. Yes. And so you're going to find your objects around the house. I have a little bottle of glitter. I'm going to lay it on its side. Cat toy.
What I'm going to find.
Oh, yeah. And battery, which means I think you'd have to feel this little thing on the end for it to be a giveaway. Pair of scissors and a fork. Now, you, moms, dads, the adult living there, whoever's putting the objects in, they can be as easy or as difficult as you want them to be, depending on how you're doing the activity. All right, so now I'm going to cover those up with my towel. Okay, so now I have my objects laying there. I'm going to take my dish towel and put it on top of them. There we go. All right, and now I'm going to have Alan come over and see if he can feel them and tell us what it is based on how it feels.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, that works too, or you can cover up your eyes. You can also use a bandana too. All kinds of ways.
Okay, so I just cover them with the towel then?
Mhm.
Look. Okay.
And it doesn't have to be the adult that does the covering up of the objects. A child could do that, and the parents could see if they could figure it out.
We have covered up our objects.
Okay. So the ones that I chose were things that I'm grateful for. And so now I'm going to have Alan come over and see if he can figure out what they are.
Okay.
All right. So he's just putting his hand on there and he's rubbing around. He's feeling things. He's squeezing.
This is a bottle.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. You think
that
that's
right?
a bottle?
I do.
Okay.
You want me to get it?
Sure, you can pull it out. Let's see. Yes, it's a little bottle of glitter, which I am thankful
Glitter
for
is
pink
awesome.
glitter. I mean, who can live without glitter? All right.
What are you guys going to find?
You want to see what's underneath there?
What is it?
What do you think? What does it feel like?
The dye.
It is the dye. I put the food dye underneath there.
Excellent.
It's a little cup.
It's a little cup. Yeah.
Coffee cup. Oh.
Oh, a little cup from a medicine bottle.
You can do this one. This one's kind of pretty tricky. I don't know, but this is something I am really, really grateful for, especially as we're moving into spring.
She's thinking.
No. Coffee.
Oh, she knows mom very well. Oh.
No.
Yay.
A rainbow.
Perfect. Perfect.
Let's see. What else have you got under there?
There's one more thing right here. You think you can figure out what that is?
Q-tip.
A Q-tip.
Yep, she knew what it was right away.
Do you mind if I do the next piece?
Yeah.
So one thing that we've been thinking about with touch, you know, we can have different ways that we feel things, like as we're searching for them, or different ways that we make art or do things with our hands. But sometimes we can remember things by the way that they feel. And so I'm wondering if you can name something, and I'll think of one too, that you can touch and feel that you're thankful for. Is there something that you can think of, that you can hold or touch or feel, that has a special feel that you're thankful for?
Maybe my blanket.
Ooh, your blanket. Awesome.
Yes.
What does your blanket feel like?
Soft.
Soft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you know, as soon as you touch that blanket, you feel probably all the warmth and comfort that it gives you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking of rocks actually, because I love when I go out walking to pick up rocks, and I love especially like the ones that that are a little bit smooth and cold to the touch, and then I'll put those in my pocket and I'll walk around with them for a little bit, and whenever I touch them, it makes me remember where I was when I picked it up.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm
nice.
thankful for those.
Yes.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys were here with us today, and we're going to close with a prayer, if that's okay. All right, let us pray. God of all times and all places, God of sight, taste, sound, touch, smell, and service, grant us your grace in this season of Lent as we ready our hearts and bodies to remember Christ's sacrifice and anticipate the celebration of Christ's resurrection. Provide us with better understanding of new life and unity. Bring us into deeper relationships and greater community, springing from the joy and hope that come from an intentional walk with Christ. Amen. Thank you for being with us today.
Yes.
It was so good to see your faces.
Good to see you.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.